to explore a trade. That's the latest from our NFL insider Jonathan Jones. The Pro Bowl pass rusher hired a new agent this week in Drew Rosenhaus. Since getting traded from the Eagles to the Jets in the offseason, Reddick has been in a lengthy holdout and has not reported to Florham Park since his initial physical. In the meantime, he's racked up millions in fines for skipping camp and missing regular season games. So the saga continues in New York, and of course, to continue the conversation, we bring in the man who's been right there from the very beginning, our NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. And JJ, how did we get here? Because back in August, when Reddick initially requested to be traded, the Jets said, nah, we're not doing that. And now here we are. What happened?
So he hires a new agent, Drew Rosenhaus, who knows everyone in the NFL, a veteran agent. He has more players than any other agent in the NFL that he represents. And in Drew's conversations with Joe Douglas, I am not yet ruling out that there's no chance that Hasson Reddick ever plays for the New York Jets necessarily, but it was clear coming off of those conversations on Monday that Drew had a few days to reach out to various teams to gauge the interest around the league in potentially trading for Hasson Reddick. Now, any team that does that, you'd only be getting a half a season out of him right now, right? We're entering week 7 right now. You would assume, and I'm sure that Drew Rosenhaus is telling folks that he's in fantastic shape. Whether he's in football shape or not, who knows? But in talking with plenty of NFL players, current and past, if the easiest position to just kind of step off of the couch, if you will, and go out onto the football field is pass rusher. It could be a see ball, get ball, as long as you were in shape, but maybe not football shape. So that's what you'd be getting from Hasson Reddick, about a half a season. You'd have to have the salary cap space in order to fit him on your team. And of course, you'd be having to be willing to give up enough trade value in the form of draft pick compensation back to the New York Jets, who, look, still owe the Philadelphia Eagles a 3rd or a 2nd round pick, depending on whether conditions are ultimately met this season.
So do you think that there is a real and feasible chance that Reddick might play at some point for the Jets before a trade happens? Could that be a possibility?
No, I don't see that happening. I see that after he finally plays, there will have been a kumbaya session somewhere. He either is going to go to a team that is very, very clear about their intentions with him, their contract intentions with him, and everyone's going to be on the same page, and then he's going to go there, and then he's going to play. Or his representation is going to explore the entire NFL, and he's going to come back to him and say, here are the 1, 2, 3 teams that want to trade for you, and here's what they're willing to offer you. Or you can go back to Joe Douglas, to the Jets front office, and say, okay, I know what the market has said about me. And remember this, if they could be in this situation next year, if he doesn't play this year, his contract just tolls. The Jets still have his rights. They could be exactly in this same spot next year. And so the Jets do have the leverage here. There is no question about that. So Hasson Reddick, if there is a taker and he wants to go to that team, they could get a deal done. Both sides appear to be interested in that possibility. But in exploring trade options and opportunities, that could also tell Hasson Reddick, here's what the rest of the league thinks about you. And maybe your best play right now is to finally go back to Florham Park.
Yeah, certainly a situation that has been going on for quite some time. When you look around the league, any potential teams that you think might be interested, could have interest in trying to land Reddick?
Yeah, not yet. It's still too early to determine that. I know a lot of people will want to play fantasy football and send him to the Detroit Lions because of the Aiden Hutchinson injury. I understand that. It's all still too early to determine where someone like that could go because there are so many elements, right? You have a disgruntled player who costs a lot of money. You don't know what shape he's in, and you know that it's going to cost probably a day 2 or an early day 3 draft pick. That's real currency in today's NFL. So because of all those things, and because we're still 3 weeks away from the trade deadline, I don't know that anyone is chomping at the bit to go get their hands on the guy who just held out for several months, and no one can understand why.
Are we only in this situation with this new development of exploring a trade because of Drew Rosenhaus? Do you think that maybe if there was a different agent at play, that this might not be a scenario that we're discussing right now?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a great question and great hypothetical and very possible. Again, I want to be clear, just because Drew Rosenhaus has been granted permission on Hasson's behalf to seek a trade, there are a number of things that could mean. But again, at the very basic level, being able to go out there and gauge the market and talk with teams openly about what they would be willing to give up, what they would be willing to spend on a player like Hasson Reddick. All of those things it's a positive sign that something is going to happen, because for the last month and a half, nothing was happening.
At some point, you would have thought the money would start talking and someone would get to walking with all of those fines that Reddick is racking up. But I guess maybe the light at the end of the tunnel might be coming sometime sooner than later. Jonathan Jones here with the latest describing Hasson Reddick. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. And of course, the Jets, as they look forward toward the rest of the season, this is their schedule after they lost last night on Monday Night Football. They have to get things back together, 3 straight L's, and they need to figure out a way to take on the Steelers coming up on Sunday Night Football. Then they got the Patriots and the Texans. But of course, we're not done talking the Jets just yet, because keep it right here locked with HQ. We've got even more news that I'm telling you, you are going to want to hear and see on the other side.